About 1.8 million people will be diagnosed with cancer this year. 268,000 women and 2,700 men will be diagnosed with breast cancer. Join Culture Cartel as we listen to the stories of survivors of cancer who are standing up and taking the fight to this disease. A breast cancer survivor.
My name is Gloria and I'm from Sanford, Florida, and I was diagnosed with breast cancer at the age of 51 years old. And my type of breast cancer was a suspicious breast cancer. I was diagnosed in July the 13th of 2014. And I've taken my test in Lake Mary to Cyrus Diagnostic Center. And when I took my test, I had the mammogram, and they told me that it was abnormal.
What made you go get a test?
Because I had to go every year for my breast.
Okay, so you were just doing your yearly checkup and everything like that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And which doctor detected this?
The doctor at Lake Mary.
Mm-hmm. What's the doctor's name?
Now, the doctor in Lake Mary, the one from the Cyrus, but the one that said that diagnosed me with breast cancer was Dr. Chanita of Orlando, Florida.
Okay.
All right, so how did you feel when you first received the news?
Oh, it was devastating. I was really nervous. And of course, you know, when they tell you about cancer, the first thing that you're going to think of is I'm going to die. And I looking at my family, I did a second opinion because wasn't sure, you know, and I said no. You know, we said we're going to go ahead and get a second opinion.
And who was your second opinion with?
I went to the doctor, a lady out in Lake Mary, Florida. And she told me, she said, no doubt, you have breast cancer.
And how did she detect this?
Because it was like formed into a grain of salt.
Okay.
And that's why she said it is breast cancer, but it's a suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
But they couldn't take no chance.
Now, is there a family history of breast cancer?
Well, I don't know about, yes, it is on breast cancer, but I know that my mother passed away of ovarian cancer. And they all in this ovarian and breast cancer in the same family.
Okay, so when you went for your second opinion and she told you without a doubt it is breast cancer.
Yes.
Who did you have with you when you received the news?
Oh, I had my daughter, Latoya, and then I had my husband, Michael, and one of my friends, Vanessa. And it was very hurtful because, you know, all I could say is, God, I'm going to die. You know?
That's so many things are running through your mind.
Yes. And I'm going to leave my family, my children, and, you know, it just was, I just thought of, this is the end.
Exactly.
All of my dreams that I had, you know, cancer is cancer. A lot of people feel like cancer, it don't matter what type of cancer it is, how small cancer is. That word, see, it means a lot. You don't know the outcome of cancer. You don't know whether when you take the operation, is it going to be a better situation or when you go in there. And another thing that I thought about when I was going through that, I said, oh Lord, I don't know if I can take the chemo. Of course, losing my hair, that didn't mean nothing to me. My life meant to me. And I love my wig, so I like wearing, you know. I don't care about the hair and stuff, but of course, you know, it just was devastating, very hurtful.
All right, so when you were sitting in there receiving all the news and everything, was the doctor very informative to you? What did the doctor?
Yes, she was. She was very informative. Plus, she was, I felt like she was a good doctor and everything, but she was rushing me to have the surgery, and I kept putting it off because I was scared. But then she was like, no, Gloria, you have to go ahead and we can't play around with this.
So you said she was rushing the surgery.
Yes.
So as far as she wanted you to have your breast removed?
She did.
Okay.
And when I said to her and I looked to my husband, I was like, no, I'm not having my breast removed because I feel like this, which my brother is like a doctor in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I spoke with him and he said, removing your breast, it still can come in, being a part of it. It can still detect you. But then, you know, that's what a lot of people does. It's their opinion. removal.
Right.
And you know what? It did come to my mind, but I was scared.
Right.
Remind me, you looking at a person that is devastating. I had little signs of breast cancer where they said be pains in your, in your breast. So I said to my husband, I said, you know what, I'm having a lot of pains. Well, we ignored that. And one year I missed my mammogram. And then when I went back the next year, that's when all this came. But again, suspicious. And it was hurtful.
Yes. So you say doctor was very forceful and everything and trying to rush everything. So you decided to go back to the first doctor who diagnosed you and to proceed to furthermore with your treatment with her, or?
No, I went back to my doctor, Chanita, which, I love, she was nice to me. She was a caring doctor, and she is. And I had a biopsy. The biopsy said I had cancer. So that's what it tested. So I said, okay, the biopsy tested, and I got to do something. That what really made my mind up when the biopsy came back. What happened was, when I taken surgery, I wasn't in surgery for an hour. And when my husband and my daughter said, she came out and told them that, we didn't find nothing. And he's like, you didn't find anything. They took my lymph nodes out.
Okay, so you had your...
Yeah, I had them removed, maybe 5 of them, no cancer. No mass, no nothing. So my thing is...
Now, who said they didn't find anything?
My doctor, Orlando.
Okay.
She said she didn't find anything. So I said, when they told me about it, I was like, well, why did I have surgery? Why did you cut me? You didn't find nothing.
And what was their response?
Because they gave me the, when she took it and tested, she said you had cancer. So that's led it to the surgery. And I guess that's her procedure, Being a doctor for so many years, she probably had people that I might not have been the only one of a suspicious cancer. Now, mind me, a lot of people gonna do what their doctors tell them to do, especially hearing the word cancer. I couldn't take a chance on it. Even though, my family, my husband said, when they go in there, they're not gonna find nothing in you, no way. And he was right. They didn't find nothing.
Okay, so after everything was done and they cut you for no reason, what was done after that?
I went to the doctor in Orlando, to the Cancer Institute, Dr. Smith, which he treated me for a little while until the insurance changed. I had to go to Dr. Reynolds, which a lot of people telling me Dr. Reynolds was a good doctor, and Dr. Reynolds was a good doctor. He treated me.
What were they doing for treatments?
They put me on medication for the breast cancer not to come back, and I had to take blood, the regular routine. And I had let's back up. I had radiation with Dr. Lester up in Sanford, Florida.
Okay, how many treatments of radiation?
10 rounds. I had 10 rounds of radiation, and the radiation made me sicker than what I was. My whole life changed after radiation. Now, I wasn't that sick after I had taken surgery, and I'd taken radiation maybe like 2 weeks after. So he said to me, the Dr. Smith in Orlando, he said, Gloria, you're going to have to, he said, you ready for the bad or you ready for the good news? I said, well, let's get the bad news out the way. He said, well, you're not going to have to take chemo. I said, okay. My regular doctor in Sanford wouldn't sign off for chemo, no way. He wasn't going to sign off for chemo, my physician. He said, I'm not going to sign off for chemo because you don't need no chemo. So they told me I had an option. So I took radiation, like I said, the 10 rounds. And that radiation destroyed my life. It made me sick. It attacks your cells. It killed a lot of my good cells. And it was time that I couldn't get out of my bed. It was time. Right now I don't even have strength, to do nothing. I have to lay in that bed so much, and it just, being a cancer survivor is like gambling with your life, because every 6 months I have to go and take tests Mine mean I got to take tests for the cancer marks and see how they moved. And it's a lot of stress within me. And you know, my whole life has changed.
Right. All right. So take us back just a little bit more as far as when they cut you and everything like that.
Okay, when I was diagnosed with it, she said it was a suspicious type of cancer, and it was formed in a grain of salt sprinkled. And that is the reason why they said that I would need surgery. Because if it was formed together, then I wouldn't need surgery. Now, I'm not understanding that, you know, such a sprinkle together, you know, sprinkled. And then if it was formed together, you know, I thought a mass be all together.
But they knew, they had a general idea that it was breast cancer.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And they showed me on some pictures of the grain how it sprinkles too. I seen the pictures, and so that led me to believe, you know, okay, you know. But to this day, after I look back after surgery and what all they told my husband and daughter, I'm thinking I wasn't even in surgery that long.
Right.
And you're saying that you didn't find nothing. I should say I didn't find anything in her. And then my doctor in Orlando, Dr. Smith, he said to me also, I don't know what to do with you.
Exactly, because even one doctor didn't even want to sign up for the chemo.
Oh, yeah.
So this seems like they probably misdiagnosed you. And now this happens every day
Yes.
with misdiagnosis.
Yes.
So it sounds like they were trying to just dress something up because they cut you, telling you that it was sprinkled.
Right. And believing that, you know, not want to die and everything, of course I'm going to go ahead with it. You know, even my husband stated to me, you know, you never had breast cancer. He never going to believe that I had breast cancer. And I say to him, I say, but they gave me the biopsy. And that's what I say, well, can they lie on the biopsy? That's a question that, you know, I wanted to ask them. Why, you know, y'all said that I have cancer. You know, she said, no doubt, you have cancer.
This is just so crazy.
And-
Stories.
Yes, and you know, every day is out there. When we go to the doctor and everything, because a lot of times, you know, they do it for the money. And
you had insurance.
oh yeah, I had insurance, good insurance, and my copay wasn't but $10. And you're with Humana. And I even took the Barack test for my daughter. So they was trying to see, was she a candidate? Thank God she wasn't. That test was $4,000. My insurance paid for it. So that's where I'm at now. You know, going through it every day of my life. It leaves you stressful.
And you're puzzled.
Right.
Because you still have questions and stuff in the back of your own head that I think you should still dig further into this and go for a third opinion.
Yeah. Sometimes I do think I should do that, you know, but it's been done now. You know, the damage has been done. I done took radiation, and you cannot go back on radiation. My cells has been destroyed. So
you have your records and
yes,
stuff
I
that
have
you can show.
I have everything. And not only that, you know, I live my everyday life. I have plans for the future. You never know when my life can be cut off, because it's coming up again in 2 months. I go back to take my tests again. Every 6 months I take tests. And every 6 months I go in there, well, oh God, when the cancer marks done moved and everything. And they were so, and another thing, some have good doctors. I had some good doctors, and I had some doctors that maybe 2 of them didn't really care, because they put a balloon inside of me after I had surgery. And I went to take it out. He didn't even try to caress me to try to numb that area. I mean, he just snatched it out.
And which doctor is this?
Dr. Lester.
Dr. Lester.
He just, you know, and I streamed and everything. I think he should have, like, numbed the area to take it out of me. So, you know, we go through a lot in life and everything, even though with this whole...
What was his response when you screamed?
Nothing. My husband was right in there with me. You know, it's a lot of questions behind my breast cancer. It really is. And to this day, it's just, You know, sometimes, you know, I don't even believe I had breast cancer.
Right.
Like I said, and I'm gonna always say that. And I'm gonna leave it with the people, young girls and everything, not only 40 year of age you get your breast exam, try to get it did at 25, because even at 20 years old you can have breast cancer.
Right.
Men's have breast cancer.
Right. Now, you had a good support system as far as family, but not.
Well, I had a good support system of some family, not all family. You know, and that's what I want to address too. If you see your loved ones going through a situation like this, reach out to them. You know, whatever you have in your heart against somebody, you know, that's the time you're supposed to come together, you know, and say, you know, she need me.
Yeah, just because you're telling people you're okay don't really mean you're okay.
Right. And, you know, I had a lot of people that was there for me, as the people that I thought wasn't going to be, that's the one that was here for me. And, you know, I can thank Vanessa a lot. She played an important part of my life in the breast cancer, because she came over and changed my dressings and everything. And my husband, you know, without a shadow of a doubt, he was good to me. Because a lot of men have left their wives with breast cancer.
How long you been with your husband?
We've been together for 42 years, and we're going to have our 34th anniversary on October the 24th. And something else, with her rushing me to have surgery, I had to make my mind up a day before my anniversary. I had it on October the 23rd in 2014. So that was stressful, trying to do that, and, you know, but through it all, I made it so far.
So what can you, you know, tell the viewers, you know, thousands of people are watching, what can you tell them about your situation and what other people are going through right now with this cancer?
Okay, what I tell you guys, pay close attention to your doctors and what they saying to you and your tests, because mine was a suspicious cancer. And to this day.
And don't respond to doctors right away. You have to go home and think about it and gather your thoughts.
That's right. Don't let cancer scare you, but in our thoughts, y'all know cancer is a deadly disease. And not only that, we need to try to reach out. What I want to do is try to reach out and get a center for them. Wherein, you know, it's a lot of women can't get wigs. They can't get bras. They can't get nothing. They can't even get love. And I want a place where they can come and they can get all of that. You know, because nobody, they think you got money. They don't know your situation. You don't know a person's situation. You know what I'm saying? And insurance, they're not going to do everything for you. The grace of God, I had a good insurance. But I do. That's what I want to do and stuff, to try to be there for people that can't do for themselves, because it's a lot of us out there. You know, we don't have no loved ones to do. And don't get me wrong, there was a lot of people that loved me and stuff, could have did better.
Right. Now, speaking of love and support system, your support system, he's actually here.
He's here.
We'd like him to come and speak to us a little more. Please tell us who you are.
Michael Malott, husband of Gloria Malott.
Please tell us a little more. How was your trying time in this situation?
Well, that first day we was together, and when that doctor said that, and she said, "Am I gonna die?" And to hear her say that affected me, because when you've been with someone so long, someone that's your life, your air that I breathe, she's my all in all, my everything. She's my friend. She's everything to me. And when I heard that, it was, wow, you know, it seemed like my life ended. But my faith is in Jesus Christ is what kept me through it. You know, I told the doctor, I said, it's not going to be what you said it's going to be. And when she met me coming down the hallway, she said, I got good news. I didn't find anything. And when we went back to the doctor, I said, I told you that it wasn't going to be what you said it was going to be. You know, God can move mountains. We can do anything if we believe in it.
And you knew she was a fighter.
Yes, I knew she was a fighter because she was, when she go back to our 23rd, our anniversary was, and that's my birthday. I got married on my birthday.
Oh, wow.
And she was concerned about me missing that. I said, no, you're gonna get this done because you're more important than anything, any birthday, any anniversary. Because without you, we wouldn't have an anniversary.
Right.
And I said, go ahead. And you gotta be, don't say out to the shoes on your foot. Don't say what you will and won't do. And, you know, like she was saying, some men left their wives at this time simply because they can't be that wife that they used to be. But I say to those husbands, you're cowards. You know, how can you say you love somebody and then when they get to that point in their life where it might be over and you walk away from them? I could never walk away from them. You know, out right now, every day I don't know what I'd do without her. You know, and we always ask each other questions. What would you do? She say, I couldn't live without you, Mike. And I can understand. I said, no, I want you to go on. I said, you go on and live. You know, I say, if something happened to me, you go on with your life. But we as people gotta do more to support one another when we get sick. Because when you get sick, you're down, you know, and sometimes you don't have nobody. And like she said, we plan on getting an outreach center where we can help people with everything, with their needs, you know. Maybe just taking them out to dinner, getting their nails done. You know, that means a lot. And one time we took her to the thing and I met this lady in the parking lot and she was going through. She had breast cancer and they cut both her breasts off and they spread it all over her whole body. And her husband was hollering at her like a dog. Told her, come on here, we gotta move. And the poor lady was crying and I felt so sorry for her. You know, and nothing I could do.
So what can you tell the husbands out there that have wives that are going through the situation? What can you tell them, you know, or what advice can you give them as far as, you know, being that support system that they should be?
Remember, it could be you. You could be on the other end, it could be something else. My wife had been there for me. I've had 3 spinal surgeries and a shoulder surgery. And she had to do some things to help me that, you know, I thank her for. And she's always been there for me. And I tell men this. Love is what love does. And when you see your wife going through that, just because she's not, even if she loses her hair, her breath, she's still the same person on the inside. Don't walk out, man. You know, hang on in there. You know, if you love, fight through it, man. They need you. If you walk on when they're going through that, they might just pass away. So I tell men, just hang on in there. They'll get better. They'll get better.
Thank you so much for that message. Thank you so much for sitting with us.
Here we have Chanita Brown of Central Florida, a breast cancer survivor.
Hello, my name is Chanita Brown, and I was diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic breast cancer in December of 2015. My story began in actually August. I was having fun, and my man felt what he thought was maybe a lump or something strange in my breast, my right breast. I didn't know what it was. I felt around and I decided to call my gynecologist, because with most women, our gynecologist checks our breasts every time we go for birth control. So when I went to the gynecologist in July or August, I told her I felt something strange in my breast. So she put me on the table and she felt around and she was like, "Oh, you're too young for a mammogram. That's just your breast tissue."
And how old were you when she told you that?
38.
And she told you were too young.
She said I was too young and that's just my breast tissue. And she actually felt around as well. So I left. I was excited.
You didn't feel any tenderness?
No.
Okay.
No pain, no tenderness, nothing. Within 4 months,
And which doctor? What was the doctor's name?
I can't remember her name because it was so long ago.
You remember the name of the facility you went to?
It was the health department.
Okay.
It was the health department.
So by her telling you that, did that give you sort of like a relief from not getting a second opinion on that?
It did. It did. I was very relieved because she made me feel as though I couldn't be affected because I was too young.
Right.
So within 4 months of seeing her, it was the size of a tangerine under my arm. It was so big, I couldn't put my arm down. It was huge. So it grew that big within 4 months.
Where did you go?
Scared, terrified, I called my personal doctor. Primary. And he was like, "Something's wrong here." He sent me for an emergency mammogram, ultrasound, immediately. So within a day, I was at the doctor, at a hospital actually, getting a mammogram and an ultrasound. The ultrasound showed 4 tumors in one breast. 4. I thought it was just one because of the knot. It was 4. That next day they set me up for a biopsy. And I had 4 biopsies in one day.
4 biopsies in one?
Yes. They had to test all 4. 3 came back cancerous, 1 came back benign. I had my brother, his wife, a few other people in there with me. And the doctor came out and he was like, "I'm not really supposed to tell you this, but I do think it's cancer because I do have to wait for the results."
So how did that make you feel when you received that news?
Terrified, but I'm the type of person that feels there's always a solution to a problem. So the first thing I said to myself was, how can we just take care of this? What do we need to do? Let's get this over with. My brother was terrified. His wife was terrified. And I was just ready to just get it over with. I didn't know anything about breast cancer.
You was at stage 4.
Yep. Stage 4. So they said they were going to call me with the results. Never received a call. Never received a call. And we all know the saying, no news is good news. Right?
Right.
Not in my case. I called my primary and I said I need my results. So he made an appointment. I came in and he said, unfortunately, 3 is cancerous, 1 is benign, and we need to get you to a cancer doctor, which is an oncologist.
Did you ask him why he never gave you a phone call?
No, I didn't. Wasn't really thinking about that. I was just really
Right.
upset with the news that I needed to go to a cancer doctor, because like I said, I didn't know anything about that because it doesn't run in my family. So I was, just naive to the whole thing.
Right.
So he actually referred me to a doctor. I've never had that done before, a cancer doctor. And the doctor called me in his office and he was like, oh, I need to go back. I need to go back. When I went to the health department for my breast exam, I was there for birth control as well.
Mm-hmm.
They refused to give me birth control. And I was like, why wouldn't they give me birth control? She was like, well, the birth control you're on, you can't get it, you can't have it longer than 2 years. New regulations. And I'm like, I've been on it 9.
And what birth control?
It was the shot.
Okay.
So I told her, I said, okay, I'll choose another one. I said, give me the implant or something. She was like, well, we need a consultation. I can't just give it to you. And I'm like, ma'am, I'm fertile. I'm very fertile. I said, next time you see me, I'll be pregnant. And sure enough, after I found out I had cancer, after I went to the oncologist, I was pregnant.
So you were carrying a baby
with cancer.
with cancer.
Mm-hmm. So the oncologist told me,
Now, did you ask the doctor how was that going to affect you?
I did.
Uh-huh.
He said, not only do you have cancer in your breast, you have it in your liver, your lymph nodes, and it's aggressive. And he said, either you get treatment after your abortion and you live.
Abortion?
Yes.
So they told you would have to abort the baby
Yes. In order to get treatment.
in order to get.
And he said I wouldn't live 9 months to have the baby.
Now this is the doctor. What doctor told you this? The one that your primary
The cancer doctor. Yep. That he
Yeah.
referred me to.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I had a choice to either abort and live or remain pregnant and die.
So you
Those were my only 2 choices
so,
at the time.
so you had the abortion.
I had the abortion in January of 2016 and started treatment in January.
Okay.
Treatment was 6 rounds of chemo. I lost all my hair. I lost 42 pounds. I walked with a cane.
How long did you walk with the cane for?
About 4 months. About 4 months. Because I was weak and I couldn't eat. My body was full of pain. Lost all hair on every inch of my body. So I had no hair.
What did you do
No
so you could,
eyebrows, no nothing.
what did you do so you could still feel good about yourself since you lost your hair and things like that?
I wore wigs.
Mm-hmm.
I always dressed nice. I continued to work in the entertainment field. No one really knew that I was sick because I continued to live my life. I felt like cancer wasn't going to control me. It wasn't going to put me down. When I met with my oncologist, he told me that he could cure me. He told me, oh, you know, you have this kind of cancer, because every cancer has a name. And he told me that he could cure me and I'd be fine. After treatment, after surgery, I would be fine. And that's what I believed, because he's a doctor. And we trust doctors.
Right.
So after treatment, I had 6 rounds. So every 3rd week, I had chemo. So 2 weeks off, chemo. 2 weeks off, chemo. I would have chemo. I couldn't eat for 2 weeks. And the week before chemo, I would be able to eat. But then I would have chemo again. So I wasn't able to eat long. So I lost 42 pounds. And I was not big, but I was a thick girl. So when I lost it, it was just like I was going to the gym. Everybody thought I was just working out and getting fine, and nobody really knew what I was going through,
Now,
except a few people.
Did you get your breast removed, or was that an option?
The option was to get the right breast removed because it was only in my right breast, and I had told them, just take them both.
Mm-hmm.
Just take them both. I don't want to deal with this again. Just take them both.
How did that, when you had to make that decision, I know it must have been definitely a hard decision to make. How did that make you feel that you had to make that life changing?
It was a solution to me. That's how I felt. And like I said, I feel like everything has a solution. So I felt like, okay, if I remove them, I'm going to be fine. I'll be able to continue living my life. You know, I can get a reconstruction done, you know, get even perkier boobs and look even better. I tried to find the good in everything. And that's the type of person I am. But it didn't work out that way. I had my surgery in June of 2016. They told me all the cancer was gone. Out of my liver, out of my breast, out of my lymph nodes. I'm cancer free. I was excited. I continued to live. And I started reconstruction in October of the same year that I had them removed. He put, my surgeon, he put expanders in to stretch my skin to get the size breast that I wanted. Every 2 weeks I would go to get the expanders pumped up because it was stretching my skin with a needle on the side. Notice a red spot. I'm like, maybe it's from the needle. You know, it was right where the needle was.
Mm-hmm.
Like, So I told the surgeon. It's like, oh, that's just probably from the needle, whatever. It grew. And it started to spread. And it became red and red as I went in every 3rd week for injections. Then it started to open up. It became an open wound. So I went to my oncologist and I asked him what it was. He said, it looks like an infection. So they put me on antibiotics. I was on antibiotics for weeks. almost a month. And I don't think you're supposed to be on antibiotics that long, but I don't know. So I was on antibiotics for a while, and it didn't clear up. So he sent me to another doctor, and he looked at it. He was like, I never would have thought that was an infection. That's not an infection. He did a biopsy. It was cancer. So I had came back again.
It's okay, take your time.
Take your time.
It was okay because
It's okay.
Sorry.
I wanted to figure out what to do to get rid of it. It was so painful. It was an open wound. They admitted me to the hospital. They admitted me because even it showed it was cancer, but it was also cellulitis. I was there 3 weeks.
In the hospital for 3 whole weeks.
3 weeks.
What hospital did they admit you to?
Ormond, Florida Ormond Hospital. So I was there for 3 weeks, and they got it cleared. And he told me, you got to go back on chemo. The same chemo I had just did that took all my hair. Because my hair started growing back, and I was kind of feeling like myself.
Right.
But I forgot this. Before they admitted me, he took out the expanders because they were he thought they caused the cancer to come back because it was a foreign object in my chest. So after I was released from the hospital, I went back on chemo for 6 more rounds and lost my hair again and lost more weight and was sick, walking with a cane for another 3 to 4 months. After that, I had to get regular scans to kind of keep track of the cancer and see where it was and if it was gonna end up somewhere else like it did the first time in my liver. But thank God that it didn't. I never lost my hope, my faith, or my will to live. I got better. I got a little better, and it was cleared, and the cancer went away. At least that's what they told me. And after that, I was on preventative chemo, and that's the type of chemo that kind of prevents the cancer from coming back. It's not the strong chemo that kind of kills the cancer. So I was just basically constantly living my life. No one knew, except a few people. And
Now the preventative chemo, what is that a pill? Is that
no, it is a injection.
Okay.
I have a port. It goes in here
Okay.
in my skin, They put an IV here and I have to sit in a lounge chair for hours in the doctor's office and get injections from steroids to Benadryl, so you sleep. With the preventative chemo, it was very little side effects. So I was grateful for that. But one thing I can say is I got my hair back, but my eyebrows never came back.
Was that a side effect of the preventative chemo?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. No, the harsh chemo.
Oh, okay.
The harsh chemo. I don't know why they never grown back. They still haven't grown back.
Well, you still look good.
Thank you. But my hair has grown back. My weight has gotten up. After the preventative chemo, it came back again.
Now, how was this one detected?
A PET scan.
Okay. Oh, okay.
It's a scan. I have to get scans every 6 months because people don't realize once a cancer patient, always a cancer patient. Even 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, you have to get scans.
So even if you go into remission, there's a chance it's going to come back.
Yes. So they found it in a scan, and they put me on a new drug called Kadcyla. It's a new drug.
Okay.
And it didn't give me all those harsh losing my hair, weight. So I was grateful for that because going through that harsh chemo, I don't wish that on my worst enemy. I don't wish it on no one.
So right now, are you in remission?
If you can call it that.
Right. Because you still have to go
Every 6 months.
every 6 months for your scans.
I go every week for blood work, and every third week for chemo.
So when did it come back the third time? How long ago was that?
It came back right after I stopped the preventative chemo, because the preventative chemo is called Herceptin. It wasn't strong enough for me because remember I told you at the beginning that it was aggressive cancer. So by it being so aggressive, it's constantly trying to overtake my body, and my will to live and my faith and my hope is fighting against it. I've had a total of 6 surgeries. 6 surgeries and 2 harsh chemos, 2 preventative chemos, and now I'm on a new chemo drug.
So what can you tell the viewers out there about breast cancer and the cancer survivors and people who are watching right now?
Early detection. Always check your breasts. Check your breasts. Even men, because men get breast cancer. Check your breasts. Make sure you check it how they show you how to check it, because your doctor can show you how to check your breasts. And be mindful of your body. You know your body. You know how, if you're not feeling right, if something's bothering you. Breast cancer is not always symptoms, but you'll find a lump. So early detection is what's important. I heard that they've moved the mammograms up to 45. I don't know why.
Right.
Because girls in their 20s are getting it, so I don't understand. So be mindful of your own body and don't worry about what anyone else thinks. Stress the issue. I'm not feeling well, I feel something in my breast, and be proactive, and that's what's important.
Thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
We just listened to some of the stories of the many people affected by breast cancer. Remember that not only the victims of cancer are affected, but their families are impacted as well. Now it's time for you to join the fight. Raise awareness and get tested. Share this video with loved ones, please.